Right now, Dow's down 28, mostly UNH. Let's get to Bob Pisani. Hey, Bob.
Good morning, Carl. Mixed overseas. Hong Kong is basically flat. Now, China reported the lowest number of new coronavirus cases in a long time, but there's plenty of warnings out there, including P&G, which remarkably is up here. All of these companies essentially saying that coronavirus is going to impact their first quarter results. Moller-Maersk, the big shipping company, saying the same thing. Norwegian Cruise Line saying the same thing. Tenneco as well. They make auto parts. So you see a lot of impact here from many of these companies. But very modest responses from the overall stock market. Just take a look here. You think semiconductors down a little bit here. We did get a downgrade from AMD from Wells Fargo on valuation, but semis a little bit weak. Industrials are flat. Banks, despite the low yields, are flat. Energy's been a lot better recently. Oil around $54. That's been a big help. So energy stabilized, one of the few pieces of good news that we've had here. So the overall markets are holding up very well, and yet even the safe haven plays are doing well. This is a very strange market. The dollar's at a 3-year high. Gold's at a 7-year high. Utilities essentially at record highs. Very strange to have markets at historic highs and the safe haven plays also really doing well. Elsewhere, if you just take a look at what they said over in China, I think it's important to note the lenders there cut the benchmark lending rate, the Chinese authorities there. There's obviously concerns growing about the impact on the Chinese economy, particularly that the bank loan losses, these are big state-owned banks, folks. The loan losses are going to get very big very quickly on this. Remember, a while ago, a little over a week ago, as I recall, S&P came out and said China's growth could drop to the 4 to 5% range if this goes on for several months. So again, we don't know what the impact is, but you can see what's happening. You can see the impact on Chinese banks already. They're already betting. And remember, these are largely state-owned banks, Bank of Xi'an, all the big banks here, industrial, commercial, there's a really big one, all down in the last month, close to double digits overall. If you take a look at today, and I know David has been talking a lot about Morgan Stanley and E-Trade. Look at that here, very close to that number that they were getting there. That was 58, I think, that was the offer for that. Morgan Stanley down a little bit. You want to watch Interactive Brokers, one of the few free standards that are out there. Gain Capital as well. They do online trading services. And there's other firms out there like LP Holdings. They do services for independent financial advisors. They're really big. Another firm people have been watching. Their stock's been doing really well. Overall, I think the important thing, and I know David's mentioned this a couple times, but the wirehouse, the big firms, the wirehouse firms, they're losing financial consultants. Registered independent advisors, RIAs, are the hot things. They're the ones that are buying all those ETFs. They're setting up their own shops out there. This is an attempt that Morgan Stanley get a new platform for wealth managers and retail banking because they're losing people. It's very simple here. And remember, that's corporate stock buyback business. They bought Solium. That was Morgan Stanley. All of these people here that do IPOs every day, every time I see them, they're concerned about the stock that they've been getting as employees and how do they manage that stock. That's what Solium does. They manage all of that money for those newly enriched people from IPOs, hoping long-term they're going to be big clients. So that's a very big growing business, that corporate stock plan business that Morgan Stanley's got, and that's going to be a big help owning E-Trade. So right now we're down 52 points in the Dow.